The Linux Toolbox. That is what we're getting into. We've already kind of outlined kind of what we want to do. Look at some existing projects that we have going on here. We're going to dive into each one of these little things. Today, obviously, we can't finish all this. This is just a lot of work. This is probably a good year that we're looking at right here. But what we can do is really start to piece together everything. We already have kind of like the foundation now. Now we can actually start to put some meat on the bones, so to speak. And, you know, it's not going to be perfect out of the gate, but that's just kind of how these things are. It just takes a while to build up. A lot of times people think like these tools are just built overnight. And just look at the evolution of the Windows tool. It started as a CLI PS1 script, and then it just went from that to this really crappy GUI, and then slowly started to evolve into what it is now, which is crazy that it's, I think, the #2 PowerShell script in the world from GitHub. That's kind of insane. Like, you have GitHub, like if you exclude GitHub PowerShell core or Microsoft PowerShell core, you have Scoop, which is above it. And then you have an archived deep loader script from Windows 10 that is no longer developed. And then you have my script, which is insane. Totally insane. I would have never imagined that in my wildest dreams that is where that project would end up, nor would it look the way it does, because it never actually even was intended to have a GUI. So, humble beginnings. And this is the humble beginnings of the Linux Toolbox. You guys saw it here first. This is it. All right. Let's see what we got. Hey, let's pull up chat real fast, check in with everybody, and then we're gonna get to programming. Well, there went chat. All right, let's try the other button. There we go. Look at that pro streamer. Sorry for it's gonna start off a little rocky. It's getting hot here in Texas, and I'm still working outside from usually around noon, and I'm usually out there running or doing some kind of crazy physical activity. So I'm gonna be a little lightheaded for the summertime. Just a word of warning. It's gonna seem like I'm a little bit out of it, because I am. Texas heat is no joke. I drink plenty of fluids, but it takes me about 2-3 hours to recover from that heat. So excuse this first 30 minutes. Let's see. We got a question already. Do you know if they fixed the push to talk issue that used to be on Wayland? I am on the cusp of getting off Windows again, having blue screen issue. That is crazy. That was the thing that annoyed the heck out of me before. I actually never had the push to talk issue, so I can't really speak to it. Wayland has come a long ways just in the past year, so you might try it again. I would dual boot is the big thing. Whenever you're switching from Windows, don't just make the leap. Dual boot first, just to see if there's any gotchas with your system. Because there always is, and usually when you first start, having that fallback is quite nice. And then when you're ready to take the leap, you totally can. That's my obsession. And if this is very first trying Linux for other people, I highly recommend just getting like a Raspberry Pi or a second system just to learn some of the basics. It just helps a ton. Let's see. Would you ever consider adding a feature that stops Windows notifications, check them all off, and even registry, and they still pop up to annoy me? The feature actually already exists. Because, here, I'll show you. I hate Windows notifications. I thought I was the only one, but people get kind of mad when I when I strip out too much. So let me just pull up old Windows here. Now, you're talking about the notification bar over here on this side when you click on this guy. So the thing about the tweaks to just kind of completely kill it, here, we'll just, let's just run terminal with admin, and I'll show you. It does break the calendar because it's Windows. They're starting to bundle way too much in. And when I remove some things, it can break other things. A famous one that always gets broken is like search. When you start debloating Windows too much, your search kind of goes the way of the dodo. Anyways, getting to your notification tweak right here, disable notification tray and calendar. I'm not going to do a restore point. Let's just go ahead and run that. You can see it does that, and it removes the toast notification. So you're good. Hey, how's it going, Matt and Alex over on YouTube? Good to have you here, guys. Good to have you here. So that's the notification. But once you do that notification, you do have to reboot. If you look over here, usually, and if you click, you notice how there's no notification. There's no anything. It just completely kills it. You can still kind of hover to get that, but you don't have your calendar or any of that whole side toast menu. And I know your next question is there any way just to kill notifications? And to that, I just say, use Linux. If you want to strip out too much in Windows, it's really not worth it. A lot of things in my toolbox, I try and get it to the point where the default tweaks won't mess up anybody's stuff. But it's getting harder and harder, and it's going to continue down that path. We also have added disable Copilot. You might notice there's no Copilot here. That's also something that we've worked on. It's just the more crap they add and the more I have to remove, they put little hooks in, specifically like edge hooks and things like that. It gets a little bit wild. So that's the Windows tool update. We did just do the biggest update I've ever done on the Windows toolbox, and I said never again am I doing a PR that big. I have over 100 commits on that PR. It was just stupid, and that was just me being a noob and learning what not to do. Professional developers probably would laugh at me in my little test branch I did on the Windows toolbox. It took me 2 days to do that pull request merge, or basically the main merge from the bringing test branch back into main, because I left it for about 6 weeks and it had somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 pull requests in it. It was just a nightmare of a merge, but I got it done and everything works great. So yay. But the next one's going to be considerably smaller, and I'm removing the test branch from that GitHub project and just having like a one branch for applications. So non-devs can contribute to the project. They can just change the JSON file and submit that. And then developers that actually contribute a lot of code can just do a regular pull branch on the main. I can check out that branch, do it. I'm a little bit more fluent now and understand why professional developers do what they do, and adopted some of those practices specifically with dealing with merges. And yeah, it's been good. It's been good. So that's the update on the old Windows toolbox. We'll probably do something with it here in a couple weeks. I really kind of want to really buckle down and get some Linux tools going, which is great. What are we doing? If you ever have to ask what I'm doing in the stream, just look up here. Right? Oh, cutting my finger off. There we go. Bam. To do Linux toolbox. That's what the plan is. Whether or not I don't get sidetracked, that's a whole different thing. Well, just Linux user, we're going to be doing Linux toolbox. We're going to put some meat on the bones today on your fantastic Rust foundation. Nothing yet, but it will come. It will totally come. There's one thing I'm good at. It is breaking things. Don't ever think I cannot break something. That is, something I'm exceedingly good at. But it makes me a great tester, and it does make a more polished product in the end. You always want to be able to break it before you ship it out, and that is something I'm great at. All right, let's start here. This is the base program that Just Linux user actually built. It's a Rust program. I don't know Rust that well. Obviously, just the bare bones. I've only read maybe a couple chapters in Rust, but this is pretty cool. You don't even need to know Rust to do it. We basically put our SH scripts in here, compile it with the binaries, and then that's it. It's good to go. You do have to do some listing and stuff like that, but very rudimentary. So I should be okay. We'll see. After just saying I'm good at breaking stuff. Yeah. We'll just change our lists up. We don't really have to edit anything in main or float. None of this. We should just be able to edit the list and then our special commands. So let's first start over here. We're gonna go into our list, and we're gonna also be referencing. Actually, let's push. Yeah. So we got reference for here. So we're gonna go my bash neovim system setup. So let's come here. Let's go my bash. We'll just say setup bash prompt actually. Bash prompt. It's a little bit better. And then next up is going to be setup neovim, and we're going to be using my config, which is basically just a modified kickstart from TJ. TJ has an amazing, I think it's TJ that built the kickstart NVim. Dude, amazing project. If you're ever going to use neovim, kickstart NVim is where you want to start. And then let's go commands. We're going to just go command right here, and I'm just going to copy this guy. And what this should look like, let's go, and we're gonna go my bash setup. There's nothing there right now, but that's okay. What we're gonna come into GitHub for Titus. We probably should rename this linutil and start bringing all this project in. Yeah. I'm gonna leave this one alone actually, and just leave the source project now that I'm thinking about it. Probably easiest way to do this. Let's just remove .git and remove .git ignore. All right, so we got this guy, linutil, and what we're gonna do, let's remove rust, and then we're gonna move for Titus star into here. And then we're going to look at this. So now we have all the cargo and source project and everything over here. Now this obviously is broken now. So yeah, I know this is a little bit jank, but that's okay. We're going to just close that guy. Bam. Perfect. Actually, I should have probably kept that git ignore now that I'm thinking about it. Let's go back to the source project made by just Linux user, called for underscore Titus. Yeah, just Linux user. This is the source project. Let's just grab this, ignoring the dash target. I think that's the big thing. Do a git pull. You can review the commit if you want. Fixes some issues and adds theming. Oh, okay. Let me, let's just come back. Remove for Titus. Let's do a git clone. All right. Let's just grab this guy. Come on. All right. For Titus. All right. So we have this guy right here. Let's just do a copy. We'll remove git. And then we're just going to go back into linutil. Let's move star. For Titus star to here. Yes, I should have done a force. All right. I'm a goob. 1 second. Let's just go. Bam. Yeah. All right. Now we have all this in here. It looked a little bit rough, but that's okay. So we got our source. We got our lists. Now we can do it. So this is going to be a blend, guys. So the big thing with this, it looks like Rust, but, well, I mean, it is Rust for the menu. The reason why I don't just make this a whole bash script is, one, basing everything on bash can be a little bit slow. Not to say bash scripts aren't powerful. All my utilities are written in bash. It's just I wanted something a little bit more fancy for a menu. Now, most things are written in Whiptail. Now, if you're not familiar with Whiptail, you probably are. You just don't know you are. Probably like NMTUI is probably one of the famous, most used network manager utilities that I didn't know about until last stream. But it's obviously all written in Whiptail. So when you see Raspberry Pi config is another good one. I think that's Raspberry Pi _config. Usually it's all Whiptail. There's a lot of things Whiptail does, but to me, it's ugly as sin and I don't like using it. So I wanted to reinvent the wheel. Really, it wasn't me reinventing the wheel though. It was just the Linux user that did. So that's the case. So that's what's up with that. Now for this one, let me just show you like a cargo run of this. Kind of show you the difference between whiptail and the rust. So this one, you can do a little bit more nesting. I like just the easy access, and also like the refresh. In fact, it's kind of just in a very good nested thing. So like when you do like a running command or oh no, this doesn't have that. Let's just go sleep, I believe. No, that wasn't it. 1 second. Let's just go ls. Yeah. Here you go. This is like a bash script that would be run. But you can kind of see how the nesting works. It's a little different, and I like the theming a lot better, and the fact that it just kind of stays in the terminal. And whiptail, I just really hate a lot of the back end. So that's the whole idea behind using Rust for the front end. Really, all it is just Linux users project that is pretty much a fancy whiptail, just a little bit more complex, but pretty basic still at the same time. Like, I can understand it, and I really don't know Rust very well, as we've seen on past streams. I have a whole thing where it just cringed the whole way. If you want to watch that, by all means, head over to Titus Tech Talk, check it out. You'll have a good laugh seeing me try to learn Rust for the first day. I understand Rust a little bit now, understand cargo, understand the structure, understand basic variables, and some simple Rust commands, and that's good enough. That's good enough to get me started. All right, so yeah, it's not really your project, but yeah, just Linux. That's the funny thing about open source. Is it's really hard to credit like the original person. Yeah, Ratatouille is the theming behind it, basically the framework that makes the menu look as good as it does. Just Linux user took Ratatouille and then built a nice little structure around it so a simpleton like myself can understand it. So thank you. But also thank you to the dev of Ratatouille. It's always kind of funny whenever you hear like, oh god, what is it the neckbeards do, like GNU Linux and stuff. And then it's like, well, you kind of want to correct them. Like at that point, they're like, well, excuse me, it's not Linux, it's GNU Linux. And you're like, all right there, chief. It's actually not GNU Linux. It's GNU System D Grub. Maybe Qt. If you want to start naming off all the components of Linux, then fine, do that. If you want to be a try-hard, go for it. But don't come at me with this GNU Linux kind of BS. You just sound stupid. I said it. It's true. It's true. I can't stand the GNU Linux people, and I understand you want to pay homage to your Lord and Savior Richard Stallman, but it just is completely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And it sounds stupid. So just call it Linux. It's what the world says. All right. Anyways, first hot take of the day. You can clip that, send it off to social media, get me canceled. Let's get into the actual toolbox, the things that actually matter. Nobody really cares about that other stuff. All right, let's roll. Let's go. All right, here we go. So we have our lists. Let's start. This is going to be the structure of it right there. So we're going to go set up bash. Bash. Probably the best way to do this is I'm going to just pull the project, but I'm going to modify the setup script so I can just run it direct. So set up bash prompt, and here we go. Let's start with my bash repo. And what does this setup script look like? So this is already pretty much agnostic. The purpose of this to make sure that I kind of want to cover the three big guys in the Linux realm with this toolbox. I wanted to cover Rail-based distros, Arch-based distros, and Debian-based distros. Those are the three big dogs. That'll cover almost, it's going to cover like 90-something% of all Linux users. I think you just can't go wrong with that. Merc, thanks for the sub, man. Welcome to the channel. First time subscriber. Appreciate you. All right. This looks fine. I'm going to probably pull in the raw file of this. Do we have a... Okay. This assumes that it's already cloned and pulled into the actual file. That's fine, I guess. Let's just copy it. And what I'm going to do is make a command. We got our special ls. Let's just rename this for now. Setup bash is what we're going to call this guy. Let's go here with it. And we're going to just check the environment here. Do we want to throw this in the temp folder and then copy? No, probably not. I think what we're going to call this is Titus Tools and make a directory that everything comes out of so we can kind of save it and go. That is going to be great. +7, man. All right. Another prime. Appreciate you. Let's go and go up here. And what we're going to do first is check to make sure the directory exists. Check to make sure home directory / Titus Tools folder exists and make it if it does. Doesn't. Do we want to call it Titus Tools? Probably like Titus Toolbox. Linux Toolbox or Linux Util. Eesh. Yeah, it's kind of like, how big do I want my ego to be? I don't think I want to put my name in here. Let's go Linux Tools. Linux Toolbox. I feel like that's a little more agnostic. Yeah, Lin Util is a little bit too obscure. So I think I'm going to call it Linux Toolbox. Should we just rename this whole project Linux Toolbox? I think so. I kind of want it to be descriptive. All right, so, I mean, it's kind of close. Make this more condensed. Condenses. There we go. It's a little too condensed. That is a bit much. Break out the if statements. Yeah, that's a little better. All right, cool. So creating Linux Toolbox, directory created, else, you know what? We're not even going to do an else statement. Finish. Yellow, Linux Toolbox, green. You're using this. Let's first set that up. Here, you don't have access to those. Alrighty. Yellow, green, that looks good. Make directory, path, Linux Toolbox. I like it. Perfect. Mac Util next. I was actually talking to somebody the other day, a guy at my work. He loves his Mac. Like he's like, you know, I think everybody goes through like a Mac phase, right? Like people that just don't care, right? I mean, I even went through like a little bit of a Mac phase. No, not really though. I mean, I've always hated Apple. Anyways, I had a point where I'm like, those M1s are actually pretty good. When M1s first came out, it was impressive. I was even impressed. I even was like, you know, tip my hat at Apple for the M1. Anyways, yeah, he was like, hey, yeah, I'm really into Mac now. I was like, great. And he was like, I'm thinking about getting the Mac Studio M1 off eBay because right now you can get them for like $1,000. And I was like, you know, that's actually a pretty damn good deal. Go for it. So he did. And then I was talking to him yesterday at work and he was like, you know, and we go back and forth and he does his own thing. And I was like, yeah, if I was a smart man, I probably should just make a Mac Toolbox because I saw all the paid programs you have to buy to just use a Mac. Like there's so many, like everything's paid. Like, yeah, there's Homebrew and some free programs, but inevitably, like you look at like just window snapping, a lot of people pay like $3 or $4 for a magnet. Think of the thousands of sales. Like if you really are a developer and you want to make some money, there is a ton of money in Mac. So no judgment here. A little bit of a long-winded story just to come to that conclusion. I could have just said that out loud, but again, still recovering from the heat. So off this weed resub for tier 1. All right. 18 months. Dang. All right, man. 18 months. Have I been doing this for 18 months? Dang, I think you were subscribed before I even started doing Twitch regularly. Oh, man, true OG there. Have you considered using graphite for your Git projects? Yeah, but graphite kind of sucks. I tried it a little bit and I was like, well, it's a paid tool. And it's like, I don't know. Git's not that complicated. Why not just use the Git tools available? It just didn't improve my workflow enough to justify the cost. So I looked at graphite and I was like, eh. And then I looked up a couple reviews from YouTubers, and the thought I had, I'm not going to name any YouTubers here, but every single YouTube review I saw had an affiliate link. As soon as I see an affiliate link, it's paid. It's a paid review. It's not a review. It's a paid advertisement is really what that is. I could not find one graphite review on YouTube that wasn't paid. A paid advertisement is what they are. Not one. So I guess I should have made like my honest opinion of graphite. But then anytime I do that, man, the companies come after me. They swarm the video. They'll get takedown notices. I've gotten threatened by CEOs for just the silliest thing whenever I do a piece like that. And then people in the comments are just like, oh, that's disingenuous. My favorite YouTuber recommended this tool, therefore it's the best. And I'm like, dude, he's making thousands of dollars a month off of that recommendation. There's a little bit more incentive there that you might think about. But I digress. I'm feeling spicy today. I don't know why. But it's true. It's YouTube. It's don't hate the player, hate the game kind of thing. It's just the game we all play. I'm sure there's reviews I've done in the past where I got paid handsomely for doing, but I've always been straight up. I've never done like, hey, here's this is my honest opinions, even though they paid me for it. I'm always like, hey, this is a paid video, guys. Let's get into it. But I never am like, this is a review, or this is, I think there are times where I might call it a review and I get it for free. Even those are pretty biased, honestly. If I get something for free and I review it, I mean, it's a review, but I wouldn't necessarily base the buying. I don't think I could honestly say is the value there. So I could never recommend buying and say, hey, go buy this, even though it was given to me for free, if that makes sense. Because if I buy and pay like my money for it, then I can tell and give a recommendation whether or not to buy it. But if it's given to me for free, I can just kind of review it and say, here's what I like, here's what I don't like, make up your own mind. That's okay. I don't know. Again, meh. Yeah. A review with limitations. You should curl the bash script so it's updated each time, so you don't need to copy that to the toolbox. Yeah, I guess I should just change it. Yeah, I could do that. That's interesting. Maybe. I sold those Debbie t-shirts for a limited time. Will you ever do that again? Yeah, I think you can still get that shirt. I think it's still there, isn't it? What was it? Oh, who did I use for that? I actually like the shirt. I've been wearing the same shirt for like 2 years. What did I use? God bless. There's so many different ones I went through. I first tried like Teespring, and then I didn't like their shirts. And then I tried something else, and their shirts sucked too. And then I landed on, what was it? I was doing something. Just remembered. I look at my notes over and I'm like, driver's education due by June 20th. I got a speeding ticket. I keep forgetting to put that off. All right, let's go. Google shirt store. No, that's not it. Print on demand t-shirts. Printify, Amazon merch, Printful. No. Spreadshirt. No. Nope. Shoot. Come on. It's gonna come to me. I'm such a pro YouTuber. Can't even remember who I used to do the print on demand shirt. Here, let's just check Reddit. Gelato. I like gelato. Print Gelato, the ice cream. I don't know about the actual service. What do we got? Pod? No. Oh, yeah, I know. I always dox myself. It happens every stream. Yeah, let's go. Printful. Merch King now. Dang, man. What did I use for that? I'll have to get back to you on that one. I don't remember. Maybe I had a link up here. Made a bookmark, maybe. No, I didn't. Oh, maybe it's in affiliate sales. No. It's back when I did like Amazon affiliate. I don't even do any of that anymore. Jeez. Now, it might come to me. No, it wasn't Fourth Wall. Fourth Wall is probably the big one now. Fourth Wall does a pretty decent job. A little pricey. Pretty small margins too. But yeah. Let's fix this script actually. All right. Yeah, let's just come back to here. And let's go my bash. Get poll. Get status. We have a modified bash RC. Let's go setup. Let's add that guy in. Yep. What is happening? Did I add Copilot to my Neovim or some crap? Anywho. Actually, let's just come back to here. I think what we'll do is just curl that directly. Is that thorium? It sure is. Old thorium. Still kicking around. Whew. Yeah, I think this shirt's... Yeah, this shirt's been 2 years, 3 years now? Something like that. It was a long time. And it's still kicking, so it was a good... Oh, maybe it says it on the back. I can't read it. It's too close. I'll think of it up. I'll look it up at one point in time. Get a vacation summer and winter. Yeah, I try to take as many vacations as I can, man. As you get older, you learn the importance of taking a break. Resetting your mind. It's always a good idea. You will never regret doing that. Let's go. Open folder. Let's go my bash. Let's fix this up. All right, so we got this one. Find, do a git clone of, how do you determine the utilization of your, oh, okay, drummer. Mango HUD's the easiest way. So what I like to do, like a lot of people are like, hey, why does your Mango HUD look so clean? Jeez, I'm getting sidetracked again, but this also has in relation to this. I forgot, do I have the setup here? This is actually a good thing. Thank you, drummer. This B1 Mango HUD and G overlay. I just need to make sure I add those in as well. But yes, that's how I determine it, is Mango HUD and G overlay. So if you are new, well, you're not new. Drummer's been using Linux forever. But what I like to do is kind of get this set up, and you can kind of tweak out and get your utilization using G overlay. I like to like round the corners of Mango HUD, center it, or depending on the game I'm playing, I might move this around a little bit. There's certain things I like to add is like FPS limits and resolution, just so people watching can kind of know what I'm running. As far as VCape Assault, I probably will take that off. It doesn't really read properly anyways. So remove that. I don't like time. Let's save that. So we just have the, hey, this is a rolling release, Arch Linux, and then the kernel I'm using. And then frame times, I think, is important for gauging if you're doing any kind of benchmarking. I'd probably remove this. On actual gameplay, I like to just run with GPU percent, FPS. Frame time, I know if I know I'm getting consistent frames anyways, I don't really care. So usually it's just GPU percentage, FPS, and that's about it. I like a very bare bones setup for my Mango HUD, but I like to kind of pimp it all out right here and configure it, and I'm good. So, yeah, do a git clone of my bash if my bash doesn't already exist. All right. And we're going to remove the else statement, a little redundant. As far as successfully cloning, Yeah, that should work. I think these are not like a threaded process, so we shouldn't have any issue there. When will Wayland work in NVIDIA? Well, it depends. Like right now, sometimes NVIDIA and Wayland's working for some people. Some people it is. Bonfire. That was it. Oh my gosh. See, chats to the rescue. Bonfire is who I used. Fire.com. Chris Titus Tech. Oh, that's embarrassing. 1 second. Let me just log in. Surely I used my login. Maybe. Dashboard. Huh? Okay, I think I don't have anything. Here we go. Let's go to my store. Aha! GS, how hard is it to reinstall Samba? All my Manjaro-based machines cannot see my mask. Or should I switch to NFS? You should switch to NFS, but to do Samba is relatively simple. You're probably missing like Sif Shutil, and that's a package. Here's the store link. I just don't ever advertise it anymore. It actually is pretty good material. So if you see me wearing something, it's probably from there. I probably should actually add a link somewhere. I just haven't done anything. But yeah, this is the one I wear all the time. I really like it. And I also wear my coffee. I made this whole thing in GIMP. That was me as the artist. I made it all. It's not like the greatest design ever. It's got like a good like second grade artist kind of vibe to it, but I'm pretty satisfied with my GIMP drawing. That was all me though. I'm so proud. Watch out, digital artists. Titus is in town. I like to dabble in everything, and it's just scary. All right. Those send to EU? I believe so. Let's all right, so we got the clone. We've got that. Probably change directory to my bash. Change directory to my bash. All right, perfect. So we have all of that. We have this set up for the variable. Build all that in. We've got the clone. We're CDing in, and then we do our checks to run. We have that. Install dependencies, install Starship, install Zoxide. There was one other one while we're here that we needed to do, which was ATUIN. Let's go to ATUIN. I really like that. Magic Shell history. I believe Phoenix was the one to do that setup for me. Or actually turn me on to this project. Really cool. Let's get started. Quick start. If you're in a hurry, you want to start quickly, just do that. Register, blah, blah, blah. I probably want to set this up to where it doesn't do any kind of online. If people want to use the register and import sync auto, they can do it after. But you don't need it for install. So we're going to copy this guy, install. I think this will be, although if I bash curl the script and then bash curl inside of it, I don't really like the nested process. I think what we want to do, well, yeah, no, I think it'll be fine because we already have the eval there. And if we look at our, let's just go GitHub desktop. How are your gym sessions going? Have you continued exercising? Absolutely, man. I just finished Murph, Memorial Day weekend. That was pretty brutal. Didn't get the time I wanted. Didn't do as well as I wanted, but I finished. So there's that. Let's move. Let's add an existing repository. Let's choose my bash. Let's go here. But I do document most of my stuff. Yeah, I'm getting close to a 6-pack. So we did, what was it? Yeah, Murph, if you're unfamiliar, it was 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then like 2 miles of running. 1 mile on the front end, 1 mile on the back end. Let's add that repo. Yeah, that looks good. I just want to check to see what I'm changing in my bash RC, making sure we do haspin and that. But I do document everything through. Nobody ever watches this, and I never really advertise it because it's a little embarrassing. But you know me, I love embarrassing myself. So, what did I call this? I think it was like Titus Tech Fitness. Chris Titus Fitness, probably. Chris Titus Fitness. Watch out, my 775 subscriber channel. Man, I was pretty chubby there. That was when I first started. But yeah, this was my last one with the Murph workout. So here, I'll link it in chat. You guys can check out my fitness channel. So if you're ever interested in it, there you go. I don't post very much, like maybe once every couple months or so, whenever I feel like I've hit like a good milestone to just check in, because I've been working out for 18 months now. So maybe I'll make a video on the main channel at like 3 years when I'm like, if I ever get into competition shape and I can compete, I think I would actually make a video on the main channel about it. Let's see, we got that. Let's double check and see if we have, yeah, we have the ATUI in here. We have Zoxide and we have Starship for the eval. We don't need to do the install. That's good. Why not posting more? I don't know. A lot of people don't want to see some 40-year-old guy working out on YouTube. And I'm a little too blunt. The fitness industry is so strange. Like everyone wants like a magic pill or some way to do it. And like the secret to getting in shape is, well, you just got to do it for like 3 to 5 years, have good self-control and eat properly, and then work out. For me, 5 times a week. That's easy, right? Just eat the right things, work out 5 days a week, and you're going to be in a pretty good shot after about 3 to 5 years if you're really out of shape now in your 40s. But that's my 40-year-old journey. It's not a very compelling argument to watch. It really isn't. It's so easy. Everyone can do it. Yeah, I mean, there's some 60-year-olds that do it. I mean, a lot of the Instagram and that type of thing too. You got these guys that are just completely just beasts of humans that, you know, they do kind of crazy stuff. And you kind of have to be very bombastic in the fitness industry. I'm just not. I think this is good for a commit for the bash, and then the setup. I think this will get us pretty much what we want. I'm going to start adding this to each of my projects, so we'll always have the Linux Toolbox in the home folder, and then that way we are always cloning from the right way, and people know, hey, everything in there is the Linux Toolbox. Linux Toolbox update is what we're going to commit this and push. I love me some David Goggins. It's so great. They don't know me, son. Who's going to carry the boats and the logs? That guy is amazing. But yeah, it's a lot of that. You need the magic powder, the mythical. You need some TRT and all that other stuff. Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm doing the old fashioned way. It just takes a long time. I don't need any of the special juice. You can do it. It's just you're not going to do it like Hollywood does it in 6 months. When you see like these 50-year-olds just get completely shredded in like 6 months, that's not possible for any human. It's just not. It doesn't matter how much money you have naturally. Just being real. Yeah, I don't want to be like a naysayer. Now, if you have 2 years worth of prep or a year and a half worth of prep, I think you can do anything that you want to your body in that time period with enough focus and determination. But if you're already in a pretty bad starting point, you know, it's going to take a while to get going. It's not overnight. Like I remember when I first started, I was like, oh yeah, I worked out when I was in my 20s really good and I was pretty healthy. I'm get back into it really soon. And it was really quick in my 40s to figure out it takes a long time to ramp up as you get older. The younger you are, the more flexible, the faster you can get fit. But the older you are, the longer it takes. And I think once you get to a certain age, if you haven't done it, probably like late 50s, 60s, if you're just really in a bad way in that age period, you're pretty much just screwed. I mean, you got to be working out. I think you got to start at least in your 40s. If you don't, it's just, I don't think you'll ever get there. Maybe you can with like doctor help or all kinds of different ways of doing it, but it was very, very difficult. The older you get, the more difficult it is to get in shape. There's just no other way around it. I don't know how I got on this rant. I apologize. All right. Let's see. I am 42. So I'm not very old, but it was still very difficult in my 40. At 40 is when I started, and it was very difficult. I didn't realize how difficult it would be. I honestly thought, well, I will just focus on this and it will be easy. I was wrong. It was not. It was not easy at all. It sucked. It was just a rough go, man. I gotta tell you. All right, let's add this TLDR I wanted to add to my bash as well. TLDR is like a must-have when doing any bash stuff. I'm 50s and I go to the gym 3 days a week. All right, that's what I'm talking about. You just got to stay with it. You just got to stay with it. That's the big thing. Nobody wants to hear that. But, and it doesn't have to be, it's just got to be something that you enjoy somewhat. Maybe you don't enjoy it at first, but you learn to enjoy it. So if it's running, do that. I think you need some kind of resistance training in there as well. Don't just do cardio, but do some lifts, do some cardio, eat properly. That's really all you need. And whatever you can do to check the box on all three of those things, do that. And always have options. Don't just rely on one thing or one person. That's the biggest thing I can say. I'm 16 and running every other day. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you gotta find your thing. Whatever that thing is. Whatever gets you active, whatever gets you out there. That's the big thing. There's no magic bullet. For me, I've done a lot of different things over the years. And my favorite right now, and this is embarrassing, and I'm totally gonna I get made fun of all the time at work for this, but CrossFit. I really enjoyed the last 18 months of just doing that. I don't have to think about it. I just show up. It's like a cheat code. It sucks, but it's just an hour long, and I just go, turn my brain off, do it, and then just don't eat like a degenerate. Don't eat like a goblin, And that is really all I do. That's my secret. Yeah. Don't eat like you're still in your 20s. Drummer, so important. Don't be doing Taco Bell and sodas. At least that was my staple in my 20s. Oh, man, I still love me some Taco Bell, though. Just saying it out loud, I'm like, oh. All right, we're good with bash. I think we got TLDR. Where's the dependencies? Okay, dependencies here. Let's go TLDR. So we have Pac-Man. What else do we have? Now, what about other distros? Are we not configuring this for other distros? So see Pac-Man. Yay, Paru. Okay, that's fine. Check environment. So zipper. So we have DNF, Pac-Man, zipper, APT, and yum. Okay. Oh, man. Let's see. Install YQ dependency. Okay, that should be fine. Why not use Chef or Puppet to install stuff? I don't know. I mean, honestly, we could do like a playbook. Probably Ansible would be what I would use instead of Puppet, I would imagine, if I wanted to go down that route. Puppet kind of sucks. Last time I used it, I was just like, ugh. Oh, didn't Puppet use YAML? It's been a minute, so please, if it's evolved since then, please let me know. But I don't know. That's just my thought process out of the gate. It might be good though, now that you say that. These are good questions to ask. Bash is just a terminal. Oh, Ansible's closed source now. Oh, that's right. Jeff Geerling gave around his book. Yeah, and it uses YAML too. Yeah, that's right. I remember Jeff was a huge proponent of Ansible, and then he just got really upset with Red Hat. Love Jeff Geerling. He's a great dude. Just a fantastic human being. Yeah. I don't know. Right now, we're just going to do that. That should work for everybody. If not, we'll do some tests. We're going to use Distrobox to test this as well, just to verify things. I think that's a good way too. I'm just having a hard time learning Vim. Me too. It's been 2 years of that. Maybe on my 3rd year, I'm going to get Vim. Any year now, it's going to happen. It's just going to click. But, you know, I won't ever stop. I won't ever stop trying. What's this install other dependencies? Trash CLI, bat meld, jpico. What? Don't need meld or jpico. Where's this being called? Install additional. Trash CLI and bat. I don't think we need that. I think that's like bat's already up here. Why wouldn't we just add all this at once? I think we will. I think we're going to just take this, simplify things. Take this. Yeah. I don't want to do 2 installs. I think that's fine. And for the dependencies, I think we also specify them. No, that's exactly where we do. I wonder if we do run into anything where the packages don't match up across like zipper, apt, pacman. I think we might dodge a bullet here, as I think most of these are pretty universal. We'll see. I do use Neovim, but typically on smaller, like simple, like text documents and that type of thing, configuration files. So I'm really fluent in that regard. But as far as like big projects, I'm no Primogen, man. That dude's just built different. You know. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Bat and yeah, that's right. Batcat, I think, is what it is. Bat and yeah. I think Bat and Neovim are 2. Yeah, I agree. Let's remove Neovim and Bat. Oh, gosh, bless. Never mind. I think we do need to do like an install additional dependencies. All right. And install additional dependencies. And instead of this, expand this to include OpenSUSE apt. Let's just go. We'll include zipper. We're just gonna say the package managers. Apt, DNF, Hackman. Switch statement. I ate no noob. All right, good stuff. I'm totally breaking everything in every LLM. I like to feed it just a bunch of trash. Apt, I think it's Batcat actually. Let's change this to be Neovim. All right, Neovim. So Bat, I believe, is in Arch, right? Paru S Bat. Oh, no. Let's just go Paru S Bat. Yeah, Bat is what it is. Let's install Distrobox so we can test out these, so I'm not sitting here guessing. Install Distrobox. Distrobox is just absolutely amazing. Let's see, blah, 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 features, installation. Let's go. All right, installation successful. Distrobox. All right, let's go Distrobox create. Distrobox. Actually, you know what? Let's go TLDR Distrobox. All right. TLDR Distrobox create. So I think we can just go Distrobox create. What should we call this? Debian image, Debian latest. I don't think latest is actually there. We need a container manager. Oh, we don't have Podman. Oops, my bad. ROS Podman. Let's grab it. Yeah, I don't know. Podman's starting to grow on me, man. As a long-time Docker user, I mean, still I lean on Docker a whole bunch. I've been trying to use Podman more, though. I feel like it's structured better than Docker. Oh, I broke my arch again. Figures. Let's just do a quick 4.3 gig update on stream. Wait until I get burned on one of these. I probably should have backed up first. We'll see. You know, arch has been pretty good for me lately. Better knock on wood on that one. Yeah, I think it's been a couple weeks since I did my last update. It would have been on stream, so probably about 2 or 3 weeks, actually. Quick question. I'm looking at upgrading my monitor to an OLED with HDR support. How is HDR gaming in Linux nowadays? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. You have to be basically an AMD user with Wayland to get your HDR going. It's not to say you can't. And if you're going to go the HDR route, I did a video on Bazite, and Bazite has the best setup for HDR. So if you want to go down that road, Mellowdork, hopefully I'm saying your name right, but if you want to go down that road, Bazite, dude, I love me some Bazite. It's a rail-based distro, which, you know, obviously I'm not a fan of, but the distro itself is set up so well, and so well for gaming and HDR. So when it comes to like a home theater PC that I want to use for gaming, like think of like a portable Steam Deck kind of situation. They actually have Steam Deck images too. That's where I think a lot of the base comes from. It does HDR fantastic. Like I hooked it up to my main HDR TV in the other room. TV HDR, right? It worked. It enabled HDR, looked fantastic. So yeah, Bazite is what I would use. Is there any news for Windows 11 LTS release date? I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with the LTSC stuff. Senator, I'm running Nabarro, so switching to Bazite wouldn't be worse. The worst switch. Yeah, I mean, Nabarro is pretty good, but I don't know if I haven't seen lately how Glorious Egg Roll is doing HDR. Glorious Egg Roll usually does a pretty good job, and I mean, Nabarro is a decent gaming distro. I still stand behind. I made a video saying Nabarro is a great gaming distro before Bazite actually hit the scene. Now for gamers, I lean towards Bazite. I think I would recommend Bazite over Nabarro. Both are like Fedora based, so I mean, not much of a huge difference. It's just Bazite is more leaning on the Steam optimizations. Like it has like game scope and other things that are pretty darn good. It's fine, I guess. Yeah, sure. What about SteamOS? No, SteamOS never released to the masses. So anything you see, like like Hollow Project and some other stuff, it just never, they never really was like, hey, we're going to support other hardware. They're like, dude, totally not worth it. We're just going to keep to the Steam Deck. And Steam has done a fantastic job with SteamOS on the Steam Deck because they control all the variables. They don't have to worry about weird support. So I would be shocked if they ever did release it. I don't ever see Steam releasing a SteamOS for everyone. I think they might modify SteamOS a little bit and release it for some of the competitors out there, like Rogue Ally and what was that crappy Lenovo one, the Legion or something. Those types of things, like the other people out there doing the handheld scene. Steam, I think, would adapt them because it's a standardized hardware, and they would say, hey, yeah, here's our OS, load it as default. You don't want to be using Windows for your handheld, because Windows really sucks in a handheld. As we've demonstrated for the past 10 years, it's a terrible experience. Yes, you have full compatibility, but the Steam Deck is just a much better end user experience compared to Windows on a handheld sitting on a couch. I think we could all agree on that. So that's my thoughts behind it. I had a question: when I shut down Debian KDE, do I have to run off the computer manually after the scripts? There is no way to shut it down completely. It should just turn off. Sometimes it like gets hung if you like leave stuff open and you go to shut down. I could see like KDE kind of getting hung, or it tries to restore a session out of nowhere. I always like to start KDE as an empty session, and then I usually modify. Oh, that's another thing we need to do. These are great questions, guys. Great questions. Need to element modify system D timeout on shutdown to from 90 seconds to 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, something more manageable, right? Let's just take that down a little bit. Oh, crap. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was another one. Anyways, yeah, your system D is probably just hanging up, and if you just let it sit there for a couple minutes, it would shut down. Usually just issuing a power off command will send it to shut down. Yeah. Yeah, this whole setup, this is very just like a napkin kind of scratch that I'm doing here. So don't take it too much as like a, hey, this is I'm just trying to jot down these things as people think of them. And speaking of which, I do need to save this out. All right. So we got that. Let's let this finish. Ooh, that's another thing. Man, I love Twitch chat because I can just, or just chat in general, both YouTube and Twitch. Hey, Knight over on YouTube. Hey, let's see here. That's another thing that is bothered. Not great. Every distro usually misses this. Emojis. Emoji setup. Ooh, I got font set up there. Font setup. Let's just expand that. Nerd fonts and emojis. Yeah. Okay, that's good. We don't need another one. Yeah, I'm just thinking of stuff like as people mention and ask questions, I'm like, oh, yeah, that would be a good setup too. Bootloader swapping. Yeah, we have the bootloader tool already kind of geared up to go, which should be pretty good too. Would you consider your Linux different enough to be considered its own distro? Nah, it's Arch. Here's the thing about Linux distros. It's all Linux. I don't really care. You can put me on Debian, you can put me on Arch, you can put me on Fedora, whatever. I really, these days, I could care less. OpenSUSE, we even rocked that for a month or so because chat wanted OpenSUSE, and I was like, well, sure. I like Zipper. It's cool. It's just like learning different package managers and like ins and outs, but well, whatever. It's not like it matters. Gentoo, oh yeah, never mind. I take it back. Gentoo is its own thing. Although Gentoo is shipping binaries now, so not everything's compiled. All right, cool. Well, it looks like Arch updated. Let's just go Podman. All right, cool. We got Podman going. Now, what was it? Distrobox, create Debian. Debian latest not found. Pull the image. Yes. Distrobox. Where's Debian? Create new container. It's probably Debian. What's the latest Debian? I'm drawing a blank. Why am I not remember it? Debian 13, but I can't remember. I want to say Bullseye, but that's like 10. That's like Debian 10. Oh my god. What? Bookworm. Yeah, Bookworm. That's it. Thank you guys. It's like, all right. Yeah. Let's just actually, let's go create Debian image, Debian Bookworm. Yes. All right, that didn't work. Maybe Debian 13 then. One thing about ATUN, how do I like select something? Okay. Oh, tab instead of enter. Instead of Bookworm, let's go is it Debian? Is Debian 12? 12.5. I think we can just go 12, right? No. Should have a set UID. Gosh. I don't want to pull Ubuntu. Gross. Let's just do Distrobox Debian. Yeah. All right. What do we got? Let's go Distrobox create. Perfect. Now for the examples, we got Alpine. We should have just a straight poll, right? Huh. Oh, I gotta put the whole. Okay. Thank you. That's what I needed. Markup start. As always, Twitch chat coming to save me. Nightseeker, I'm currently trying to create a very minimal system. Wayland is important. I was wondering what you thought about using a system D, network D instead of network manager. Totally can do it. Just configure everything through etc. CLI, you're good. Very minimal. Definitely don't need to use network manager. I've done that variety of different servers. And yeah, Wayland is important. You know, probably do like Hyperland if you're going to go window manager, or probably KDE for Wayland setup. I think GNOME also supports some Wayland as well. So I think those are both good. Oh, Control F. Yeah. All right. So we've got that. Let's come on over here. Distrobox. Create. Image. Oh, dude, it didn't copy that. Here, you know what? We're just going to use the power of AI. Keep waiting. All right. Give me the command for Distrobox create Debian bookworm. Yes, there we go. Perfect. Thanks, Jippity. Thanks, Jippity. Let's come on over here. All right, Jippity. Let's copy paste Jippity. Nothing ever bad happened from doing that. Okay, I'm obviously not reading something. Running new UID map. You cannot set caps. Cannot set up namespace. Should have set UID or file cap set UID. Okay, what does that mean? Let's see. Oh, okay. So it says the error you're encountering suggests that new UID map binary doesn't have necessary permissions. After setting that, try creating the container again. Okay, let's try. All right, yes. Okay. Error, configure storage. Kernel does not support overlay FS. Overlay is not supported over XFS at home storage overlay. Backing system is unsupported for this graph driver. All right, Jippity again. I probably just needed a reboot here, but let's find out. Let's just see what old Jippity says. Okay, this indicates the overlay file system is not supported on your current file system. To resolve this, you can use a different storage driver such as VFS. Here's how to specify the storage driver when creating the Distrobox container. Storage driver VFS. This command's VSF driver. Okay, let's try that. Interesting. I feel like this shouldn't be necessary. This does seem like very much a reboot. I should probably reboot after doing all these updates. Let's make sure we do our commits first, though. I think we can. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we'll just commit it. Sure. We'll push that out. It's not right, but I much rather wouldn't. I don't want to lose all that code, so let's just quit that. Quit that. Let's give it a reboot. Ow, did I break my system? It's always a dice roll with me. You never know. You never know. Oh, I forgot to shut down my Windows 11. Oh, I think I fixed this, though. Let's see if it auto shuts down. Did. Yeah, I had to reinstall, like, the Spice... I think it was the Spice client, and then make sure that QEMU guest agent was installed in the QEMU instance, and then also have... I think the drivers were already there in the Windows 11 instance. But anyways, I didn't install that, so whenever I go to shut down, it would just hard shut off the Windows box. Not what I wanted. So, yeah, now at least we have that. All right, sounds good, Just Linux User. Thanks again, man. We're gonna keep pounding away on this for the next couple hours, and we'll see where we end up. I think we should be pretty good. Let's see. Do you recommend Windows 10 or Windows 11? Windows 10 for the next year. Windows 10 does go EOL in 2025. So you're only going to have Windows 10 for another year, and then you're not going to have an option. But until that time, probably Windows 10 would be my suggestion. But I don't know, on a fresh install this close to end of life, I almost have to say if you're going to go Windows, you got to go Windows 11. I don't think you really want to go Windows 10 and then do a in-place upgrade next year. That would kind of suck because Windows in-place upgrades are always awful. And it always leaves behind just so much garbage. So never mind. Yeah, I recommend if you're going Windows, you got to pretty much go Windows 11. Windows 10 LTSC would be really dicey. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. Windows 10 LTSC sounds amazing, actually. I would love to rock that, but like I wouldn't have access to WinGet. I wouldn't have access to a lot of more modern stuff that Microsoft's releasing. So for me, it doesn't really work because I really need the bleeding edge that kind of causes all the problems with Windows, because that's the content I make. Like, I mean, this sounds bad, but I'm really kind of thankful Microsoft just sucks as much as it does, because it's so much free content. Like when that whole recall thing hit, I put such a smile on my face. I was like, look at that. My video today is already written. All I have to do is read off what they're saying verbatim. And it just, the video makes itself. Like I didn't have to do a script. I didn't have to do anything. I just like, look at this recall thing. It's God's gift to content creators. I mean, everybody else has pretty much run with it too. So, you know, praise recall. Thank you, Microsoft. Heart shape. It was so bad. I mean, you know, the cynic in me kind of wants to say Microsoft maybe does love Linux, because I mean, that's kind of how you get more Linux adoption. So, I mean, if you're a Linux user out there, you should pretty much love the fact that this happened. Charlie says, Chris, hey, are you going to add other window managers to be installed? For sure. Yeah, there's going to be other stuff to add there, and we'll see how it goes. Do you plan on adding disable recall to your Windows toolbox? Yeah, absolutely. That'll be a default setting. Anybody that runs the standard tweaks will automatically disable recall. It's such a security issue. If it ever goes live, I don't think it'll ever go live. I think it's just so exploitable. It's just kind of ridiculous. It's just such a ridiculous feature in general that, I mean, the fact it got greenlit is kind of wild, right? I'm just like, you know. Hey, Arch made it through another update, by the way. Look at that. I think it's the longest I've ever been on Arch without it breaking. Maybe because I'm not using the AUR as much. Maybe. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all I'm using in the AUR. We just got Looking Glass. I mean, really nothing. Yeah, I made sure no system modification. Well, I got my special PyCom from FT Labs that is just chef's kiss of PyCom. So I do love the new PyCom. That's probably the closest thing I have from a system standpoint that comes from the AUR. Everything else, I'm like, I could just uninstall it. A better way to leak your passwords, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think they said, what was it on the recal? The only password manager that was actually any good for protecting against recall was KeePass. The FOSS KeePass manager was the only one that programmed their stuff correctly and specified that their window was considered DRM, so it will never be captured. I mean, that's kind of genius. So the devs over at KeePass did a better job than all the password managers that you pay money for. Who knew? I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, that gives me a lot of faith with KeePass. Yeah, that's pretty solid. I think I do need to do like a password manager, like tier list or something. Those tier lists always go off like gangbusters. Everybody's like just brings out their daggers and just goes at each other in the comments too. So the engagement's through the roof. Gotta love the tier lists on YouTube. It's a crowd pleaser, but it's also like a knife fight. You know, just the nature of things. KeePass does have a sync. I would probably do like a localized sync to do all that. Anyhow, yeah. I don't know how I got on that, but oh yeah, the recall thing. KeePass was the only one that has DRM windows. Everything else is considered as a standard window and not actually protected. So I was like, oh, well, damn, okay. Oh yeah, well, let's try the Distrobox create. Can we do? Yeah, we just needed a reboot. Good. Why did I call that Debian bookworm? All right, Distrobox. Enter Debian bookworm. We'll set up this. Distrobox is like so cool. If you're making a universal tool for like all Linux users, Distrobox is next. It's just OP because it's like you have access to all these package managers, so you can look up packages with that package manager, and it's awesome, as you're about to find out. So now we're on Debian. So now if we go apt search batcat, okay, apt search bat. Is there a batcat in here? I probably shouldn't have done that. Cat bat, I think is what it was called. Cat bat, cat dash bat. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Let's try bat, CTL, bat. Oh, it's just, okay, cat clone with syntax highlighting and git integration. Yeah. It's just bat. Okay, so that's fine. So apt and Arch, Debian and Arch actually agree on batcat being called bat. Awesome. All right, cool. And we established bat was that on Paru. Let's do the next one. Let's go Distrobox, create, OpenSUSE, and we'll call it image OpenSUSE latest. Yeah. I didn't think that would work. Let's go tumbleweed. No, damn it. What's the OpenSUSE image name? Yeah. Let's just Google's worthless these days. This is the only thing, the only thing that's really changed with like old Jippity and, the LLMs taking over. All it is just made Google worthless. That's the only thing that's happened. Because inevitably, I like to just use Cursor now or GPT for chats. So I like just coming in here with like a new chat and just be like, hey, Distrobox create OpenSUSE tumbleweed command. It says just / tumbleweed. Okay. Let's see if that works. Oh, I think that's the thing. And I'm going to call this OpenSUSE. Yeah, see? Look at that. Better than Google. Google can be a lot better if you switch to verbatim mode. I don't know. It's been a while since I've used Google. I've been pretty much switching everything to LLMs for searches. For like simple syntax searches, it usually gets me close enough. Like it's not always right and it still hallucinates, but it's still better than the garbage that Google sits out. Like go back 10 years and Google was the best search engine because what you searched for, actually it gave it to you and it was good results. Like everything was a clean, good result. But now all Google gives is just ads and people that pay money to amplify their message. Google as a search engine, absolutely worthless. Like there is no good search engine anymore. The only thing that GPT has done, or any LLM for that matter, there's a lot of other LLMs that you could use. It's just replaced Google because Google sucks. I mean, even Gemini is better. Well, Gemini's kind of sucky too. I mean, honestly, Gemini is trained off of a lot of the Google results, and it's okay. GPT's better though, and I'm pretty sure there's something. What was it, Super Maven, or there's a couple others out there that there's some really cool ones. Yeah, sweet. Here we go. Nice. So now we're in OpenSUSE. So let's go zipper search bat. Can I do search bat? Let's do a grep of cat. Zipper search batcat. No, that's just called bat. Did they just change the name to always be just bat across? Maybe. All right, so OpenSUSE is good. Next up, can't right now. Let's see. Oh, Fedora. Yeah. Fedora. We need Fedora. Was it 42 is the latest or 41? Can't remember. Fedora. Let's go image Fedora / 40. 40 is the latest. Okay. Yes. What if we do latest? Nah. Been nice. Fedora 40. So weird. One thing I've noticed about Distrobox is the naming convention's not standardized. So when you're pulling the image, sometimes it's a colon, sometimes it's a forward slash. It's just like, whatever I'm feeling. Okay. I'm not insane. Well, I mean, debatable. But I'm not completely insane. All right. Check containers registry 00 short names for the distro names. Ah, okay. Oh, okay. That's a good one. Thank you, dude. Are in the podman.conf file. Okay. etc containers / registry conf d 00 short names. Still debatable. Fair. All right. Now we're in Fedora. Let's do a DNF surge Batcat. I think this is Batcat. I almost want to say one of them's Batcat. Fedora is probably it because it's red. Red Hat. They like to do things different. Like to be difficult. As I say that, probably not actually. Okay. Cat clone with wings is bat. So never mind. I did all this just to verify, but it's all just bat. All right. Well, good to know. We don't need that. Let's just do a Control H. So we did all of that just so we can do our tests. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Well, just yep. All right. Pacman Neovim DNF Neovim. Actually, let's enter Fedora DNF search Neovim. What version of Neovim is it? .9 or above? Oh damn it! What is the get the information on the package numbers? You can use DNF 5 now too, by the way. Really? DNF 5? What? You got DNF 3 and 4. DNF 4. Interesting. DNF-F version. I don't think that'll actually give me what I want. I just wanted to check the version of Neovim. Check package version. Let's ask Google. DNF. No. You can find available packages. Okay, but I want to show package versions. See? Google result, right? Following? All right, watch this. LLM time. Use DNF to find package version in repo. This command will show you the available installed packages of the package name. If you're only interested in the available versions without the installed status, you can use this. But I think DNF list might actually do it. Let's see. DNF list Neovim. It does. Look at that. Actually ships Neovim 10 now? Dang, really? NVim version. It does ship to version 10. Okay. Dang. Distrobox enter. What was that called? Debian Bookworm. All right. What version of Neovim is it given? 0.7. Oh, there's Debian stable for you. Okay. Neovim. You know what? I think we can just use LLM again. LLM it. Instead of doing this, change this to download the Neovim deb file and install using app. Yeah, man. Whew. It's rough. Okay. That's an interesting... look at what this LLM did. I would have never done it like this. It's kind of cool. Look how it does the integration. So it curls and grabs the NVim latest app image. It writes it as executable. It drops that, and it actually runs the app image, but does a -- app image extract. I never actually used that command using NVim, so I don't know what the hell that does. Sudo move squash -root to option Neovim. Okay. And then it links the option Neovim app run to NVim in the USR bin. That's kind of wild. Yeah, it like decompresses the app image and then like puts it in like you've installed it on the system. I mean, if it works, that's kind of a great solution, I think. So no NVim, right? Let's try this command. I am genuinely curious of what this looks like. This kind of sounds bonkers to me. Now, this might break my whole system. Oh well, science. Let's go. So, NVim. Wow, that is cool. It worked. That's kind of insane. Okay. Wow, that is a wild way to install Neovim, but I kind of love it. So you extract the entire app image, and then you're moving this root of the extract app image into its own directory in OPT, much like Resolve installs. And then you link it directly to your system resources bin, so it pretends like it's actually there. Dang, that is awesome. I mean, yeah, you could just use Nix. But I don't like using Neovim through packages, because a lot of times I like to switch to root, and I'm root. I honestly, FS tab is what I use Neovim probably the most for whenever I'm messing around with systems. So having it as root and user level is good. But let's say you switch to root user and you installed it with Nix, a lot of times it just bombs out on you. That's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. All right, neat. Zipper, I think, is the last one we need to check. So DNF, Pacman, we got actually modern Neovim. Debian was set in like the dark ages of Neovim, before anything before like Neovim 0.8, like don't even install it unless you're just rocking the stock setup, because as soon as you start doing any kind of like kickstart, it's gonna be bad. You're gonna run into all kinds of compatibility issues. Like I think Mason and many other package managers for Neovim, that the modern ones, they all require I think 0.8 or 0.9 to even function really. I've run into a lot of old errors when I did use Debian, and I always was like, nah, I'll just build it and install it myself. However, I will remember this way of installing it. Thank you, Jippity. Very cool. Let's check Zipper. Yeah. Let's go. Distrobox. Zipper's going to be good with Tumbleweed. Distrobox enter. We just called that OpenSUSE, I believe. Yeah, we did. All right. Zipper search. Bat. Ooh. We need grab. We need to grab that. Use Zipper to get version of package. Oh, Hikari, it's so clutch, man. So clutch. Distrobox is amazing. Now I just got to switch off my kitty terminal to your terminal that you're using. The PTY XIS, the Bazite, the one Bazite uses. It's pretty legit. Although I still like my kitty. It's not bad. It has its own charm. All right, Bat. Oh, not Bat. Neovim. All right, what do we got for Neovim? Yeah, so OpenSUSE, of course, point 10. So really, Debian's the only one like in the arch, or the olden days, the dark ages for Neovim. All right, great. So we have that. People are gonna be like, what on that install? But that's okay. I'm gonna leave it. I kind of dig it. One thing though. Why is this like I guess refresh is fine. All right, yeah, should be fine. All right, good. I like all those changes. Let's what? Nope. Let's just close that before I fat finger something and screw something up. Let's go GitHub desktop. PTYXIS, pronounce Tixis or Pixis. Forgot which. Yeah, it's pretty legit, man. I dig it. All right. Removing Bat, Neovim, blah, blah, blah. That looks good. Push. All right, back to our... I think we're good with my bash now. We'll see if that actually works or not. But let's go back to our Linux toolbox. And now we are ready to curl and run this. Now, I want to execute a bash RC using this raw file. Let's see, what's the best way to do it? Probably. So with my bash, I don't think I ever did like a one-liner for it. Did I ever set that up in here? I don't think I ever did. I have like a neat little overview, but I don't have the one-liner for the setup. But now I can use the one-liner with the setup. Let's do that. Let's see. Just thinking the best way to do it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go setup. We have that. Let's go raw. Let's copy it. All right, let's come over here. Change command to run this online bash script. Shoop. Generate. That looks good, actually. We usually have a critique, but I think that'll work great. Okay, perfect. So, ooh, yeah, this way it kind of stays up to date. I don't think we're even going to need the commands folder. I kind of like leave it there just to have, but I feel like that's actually pretty good. Don't tell me you forgot to use -- in video when creating Distrobox containers. I won't tell you that. No, I did. Yeah, good call out there, AH. I love it when chat calls me out. Totally screwed that up. It's okay. As long as we can actually grab it, I'm sure that won't come back to bite me. Probably. All right, this is good. Let's come back into Excel Draw. And next up is going to be Neovim. Now for Neovim, I think we got to open another I wish I could just, you know what? Let's just do another. Can we launch cursor twice? I think we can. Yeah. Let's go Neovim. Open a folder. Because I keep bouncing back and forth here. And my thought process here is to have the projects we're referencing over here. And we're kind of like just modifying these projects so they could run direct. Except this crashed. Well, unfortunate. I don't think I have access to that. Well, maybe, actually. Oh, there we go. GitHub. Oh, nope. Shift back. It's just my mouse doesn't work. Why doesn't my mouse work, I wonder? Interesting. Neovim. Cool. Whatever. It works. We're there. So we have the main project over here on this workspace, and then we got our Neovim over here. Now, old custom. Let's just delete that folder. Yeah. Move to trash. Custom. We have my kickstart. Clean in Vim. Interesting. Setup. Now for this. This assumes a lot. This setup script sucks. Man, I just spent like all of 5 seconds writing this thing. Is coding like the new meta? I think so. I don't know if I classify this as coding. This is more like scripting. Not the same thing. There's people that can do scripts, and then there's people that can do coding. I was actually having a conversation about this the other day. Because you can't really compare me to like a Primeagen or a Theo or, you know, many other coders here on Twitch. Because they're actually developers. I am not a developer. I never have been. I've never gotten paid to develop software. I am not a developer. I've had to manage developers where I was like, hey, okay, you're building a database. We're tying in with the CRM. I'll oversee that. I'll make sure that you have the back end and stuff. I guess you call it DevOps, but I hate DevOps. I hate that terminology. I was always overseeing all the departments. So when I had to deal with developers and that, I was always the infrastructure guy. I'm the guy that sets up everything that everything runs on. Now, in big companies, that's not really even a thing anymore. I think most of it's just AWS or GCP or, you know, pick your poison for online platforms. But I digress. I say all that to just say I've always done like sysadmin infrastructure stuff. Not a developer. I'm really good with scripts and stuff like that because I've had to set up a ton of systems. So I have the aptitude to develop certain things and to code certain things, but I am not a developer. Does that make sense? You can't really equate the two things. You can't say a sysadmin and a developer are the same thing. Not that I care whatever my title is, whatever you want to call me, I'm cool with. There's a big difference between the two people. Like, the developer has been coding for 10, 20 years and knows probably 10 different languages. The sysadmin can do like rack and stack and a lot of other things from a hardware perspective that the developer just has no clue. Or has like maybe an inkling clue, much like the sysadmin has a little bit of an inkling clue of what goes on their side of things, but we're not masters of each other's things. They're not interchangeable. So when someone comes in my stream and says, coding's the new meta, I'm like, I'm not really coding. This is more of scripting, which is a whole different thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm splitting hairs. I don't know. Just my thought. But developers. Oh, the Steve Ballmer rant is, it's such a classic. Thank God for cocaine. Yeah. I make utilities, but I do not develop for work. It makes me depressed. I'd rather have it as a hobby. See, that's it. I think like Hikari Knight is a sysadmin, right? Right, Hikari? So it's like we are like the raccoons of run rummaging code. Stealing that, Hikari. I am a raccoon that rummages through code and then cobbles together things. I like that. I'm a raccoon coder. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. And that's totally two different skill sets, though. There's a big difference when you watch a coder's or developer stream and then someone like me. I'm more on the sys prep and setup kind of side of things, where they can really dive in the weeds on, hey, I'm choosing this framework and diving into these libraries, and we're gonna finagle a few things and make some magical thing happen. Where me is like, okay, well, I know these packages exist. Let's just run a bash script or a PowerShell script, and we'll just make it work that way. And you know, way different. Code raccoon. Just call me the code raccoon. Yeah. In my opinion, the difference between coding and scripting is scale. Yeah. Yeah, well, scripting is meant to be deployed to thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands. So almost everything, when you I mean, maybe coding's the same. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask those guys, the developers that actually develop things. They develop for a lot of people. I mean, hell, I think Theo worked for Twitch. We're on here, so I mean, shoot, that's a lot of people. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know what was up with that rant. But I just saw it. I was like, oh, I mean, I don't want to be labeled as a developer or a coder. Yeah, I'm just getting shit done. This is what I'm doing. Let's go. All right. Oh, this is a terrible setup script. What was I doing? This is just awful. Yeah, let's open a file here. Let's go my bash. All right, first off, let's just start the script off the same way, right? Let's just grab that. We're setting our colors. We're kind of getting the toolbox all set up, doing our error checking, making sure that directory gets created. We're doing our clone of Neovim and Neovim and Neo. Oh, geez, what am I doing here? Let's just go Neovim. Yes. Let's replace half of them by man and then come back. All right, there we go. And Neovim and Neovim and Neovim. We should have just done replace all. All right. So cool. That fixes all that. So we have that all set up. We're in the Neovim directory after cloning. Perfect. Now we want to clear out the existing ones. This is awful because I'm wiping out someone's existing ones. Make a backup, dude. That is mean. All right, cool. Thanks. That was me that actually coded that, so I can't really fault Jippity, but I'm gonna act like it was their fault. Missing a 0 online. That I am. Good call. All right, good stuff. Let's do it. What else do we have? So we'll make a backup, kind of clear out the existing one. Let's just initial setup with new file systems. Git. Okay, I was about to say, did I declare git path and then not actually do that? Okay, so we're doing a link to that. You don't need to do that, actually. Let's just change git path to... actually, that's fine. We'll just leave it. It's not the best code, but it works just fine. Yeah, there we go. Document. So we have the initial setup, backup existing Neovim config, install new one. Now we're going to do undo directory and scripts on the home. Why am I doing scripts? Why? Dot scripts. What am I? Do we have a dot scripts? What's in here? Tiny PNG. What's in tiny PNG? Huh. Okay. Did I have an API key in here? Oh, I did not. Okay. I was about to say, did I just leak my API key? Wouldn't be the first time. Yeah. I like the idea of having a scripts directory. I just like a little more uniformity here, though. I haven't blown up anyone's system since we fixed the MKI. Al Hikari, you can always come blow up my system any day of the week. It's always a pleasure, man. Those backup locations should be directories, but as in .backup, not wherever it just did there, no? Ooh, it might be. Let's check. Where is it backing that up? I wasn't paying attention. Home.backup in Vim. I don't necessarily hate that. It's a hidden backup folder in your home. It does back it up. Is it right? Yeah. Do I have issues with it? Don't necessarily love it, but I don't hate it either. Yeah. The other thing, I'm trying to think just for like uniformity and just growth of adding new things to the project. Do we ever really want to change this to the point where like anything else? So we've done Bash and we've done Neovim. I almost want to just toss everything that the script does into the Linux Toolbox directory. So I think instead of doing it here, we do a, let's just go change backup to Linux Toolbox directory. Yeah, I like that better. So changing that to the Linux Toolbox directory. Here, let me zoom in. Jeez, blind you guys. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, there we go. Go a little bit bigger. I will hide the next Russian roulette script for you. Nice. I just wanted to ask, how good is Debian for gaming nowadays? It's okay. Just depends on the type of gaming you're wanting to do. The problem with Debian when it comes to gaming is if it's like a newer game, there's less chance of it working on Debian than like a rolling distro or something a little more up to date. That's why Steam bases everything on Arch, or Bazite or Nabara base everything on Fedora, because Fedora is not necessarily a rolling distro, but it has pretty up-to-date packages. And when the packages go really far out of date, like Debian stable, it's can be hit and miss on some gaming work. I mean, honestly, Hikari would know better than me in this regard, but it's good for gaming. It's just, I think, is it the best option for gaming? I would say no. I would say an Arch or a Fedora would be a better, a Bazite or Nabara, Arch. I think that would be a better gaming platform if that's your primary focus in Linux. Now, most Linux users are not gaming primary focused. Usually it's more of a secondary thought. So it doesn't really matter for most users. But if you are a user and you're a big gamer, I would not recommend really a Debian-based system unless it's your very first distro or your very first version of Linux, because Debian is a lot harder to break. Oh, no, actually, I disregard. I pull that back. Pull that last statement back. Actually, if you're a brand new user and your primary focus is gaming and you want to see, hey, is Linux any good at gaming? I would say install Bazite. Because now mind you, I did end up breaking Bazite eventually. But I mean, I really had to put the screws to it to really kick things loose. So no normal user would ever do anywhere close to what I did. So I would recommend Bazite for a first distro for someone that wants to game on Linux. Yeah, I mean, because I can break anything. That's true. Like, you hand me anything and be like, it's immutable. I'm like, so you think? let me show you. But yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna. That's what I'd say. Yeah, Nobara is essentially mutable Bazite which means you can change a lot more. So Bazzite would be harder to, I mean, honestly, Bazzite would be my suggestion for a first distro for users because they have a hard time breaking things. Because you can't just go DNF install and just go completely crazy and break your system, which inevitably people will do when having a mutable distribution on their first Linux go around. It's almost like a rite of passage. So many Linux users will be like, well, Titus, yeah, that's just how Linux works. That should be the first experience. And to me, if someone's just a gamer and they want most of their games to work and they're wanting to move off of Windows, so you're moving off of Windows and you're not necessarily super technically adept, I think Bazzite would be an amazing distro for you to do because you can't really break it. As a new user, I mean, good luck. You won't even understand half the commands I ran to do what I did. And I just don't see a way a new user would have. I think they would have the best experience in Linux using a Bazzite, which is essentially, it's not immutable, but it's atomic. It's like halfway immutable. Best way to say it, really. And that is what a new user really should do. I think it's amazing for noobs. Because there's no update that's going to break for you. I mean, obviously don't like update every single day. You know, when a brand new version comes out of Bazzite, maybe wait a week to make sure all the kinks get worked out. But that's every update. That's like people that update as soon as they see the new fresh shiny feature update. Don't do that. Unless you're a YouTuber and you're trying to make content, because that's what I do. That's a lot of how I break things is I'm like, I wait in the second an update releases. I'm like, yes, download, let's do this. And yeah, I revel in that. But as someone that just wants something to work, yeah, you just don't update every day. That's just silly. And yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave that. You know, as far as that goes, you know, when it comes to immutable, I do still think it's the future. Yeah, I mean, something like Flatpak, Distrobox isn't straightforward to users that don't work or think about containerization. But the thing is, you can make, like, with Bazzite, Flatpak, and Distrobox, Distrobox is a little bit harder to use for a noob, but Flatpak is all just GUI based these days. You can pretty much do GUI with almost everything. Yeah, you can still break the FS tab. That's the easiest way to break it. But you can recover with generations, you know, or you don't call it generations in Bazzite. You call it versions or whatever it is. It's like NixOS generations, though. Yeah. Anywho, rant over. I thought that was, I don't know how I got on that. But there's really cool options. At the end of the day, that's where I'm getting at. Linux, man, there's some really cool options now. It's an exciting... What a time to be alive. It's such an exciting time. Like, you look at what you can do now. It's like, man, it's neat. All right, so we have the git path. We're doing a link directly to .config in Vim. We have our ignore. All right. What about the home ignore? What was I doing here, I wonder? What is that .ignore? Home.ignore. There is no dot ignore. What is this? Let's delete that. I don't know what that is. The day goes well. The day goes very well. Rollback deployments. However, that won't fix FS tab. Sadly, I believe. I think Hikari does have some kind of versioning though. I want to say I did end up breaking FS tab and I used a different version to roll back, and it had the older version of my FS tab before I broke it. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure when I broke that, it did roll back FS tab pretty well. Because I know FS tab is a more, with Atomic desktops, how I understood it, is FS tab's mutable, but it's not like a traditional distro, and it's watched by Fedora Silverblue or whatever you call it. Jeez, Universal Blue. Yeah. Old F-stab. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I still love Flatpaks for containerization. All right, so this sets that up. We got our shell. Gross. All right. Change this to support OpenSUSE, Arch, Fedora, and Debian. Hey, look at that. It actually uses a switch case for once instead of super crazy nested if statements. Nice. And it called OS release. It's getting smarter. Before it would, oh, well, yeah, before it would go etc and then it would go, geez, I can't remember what it was called before, but it was kind of wild. Let's see. Yeah, this is actually pulling the right one. Nice. Man, that's awesome. Let's come over here now. All right, so we got that. Does all these packages. I don't know if they... Oh, no, it did. You got Golang up here, and you got Go here. It did actually convert them. Dang. That is good. All right. One problem. Can you check for Wayland and use WL clipboard if they aren't using Xorg with Xclip? How are we doing that? All right, so grabbing the XS session. Yep, nice. Okay, not a bad way to go. Control accept. All right, so we got fuzzy finder, rip grep, gvim data. Interesting. All right, virtual input, Lua rocks, go, shell, check. Perfect. Okay. I like all that. Solid. All right, take it easy, Kari. All right, so this one should be pretty much more universal now. Let's run it on a couple systems. We'll try it on Distrobox, and I think we're going to try it on Debian first. Actually, let's just try this on our system first. All right, let's just go here, and I think we can, heck, let's just, I want to see this run once, because we've just been fixing projects up this whole time and basically taking them and going, okay, we're going to make everything pretty much agnostic and say, hey, are you Fedora user, are you Debian, you Arch, or you OpenSUSE? And I think those covers all the major bases with the Linux Toolbox. And then it's really just adapting all these projects. So let's come on over. Oh, add existing repo. We're going to come into Neovim. GitHub, Neovim, add repo. All right. Getting rid of old custom. I mean, that was like such an old, I was still using Vim script. Oh my gosh. Old school. Before I found Kickstart in Vim. All right. So then we got our setup, expanding setup by quite a bit. And this, let's add that to git ignore. All right, great. All right, update setup. It's just hard. Oh. All right, let's push that. Perfect. Now, let's see what we got with this. I want to try this out in an actual setting. And we're going to do our current setting here. Hopefully this doesn't completely blow up my whole config. What are the odds? Probably pretty good. I'm going to break something here. I promise would probably be surprised if it did work, but you never know. Sometimes I hit it on the first try. Not often though. All right, here we go. Let's just do bash curl, blah, run script. Thorium better than Chromium. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know. When it comes to browsers, web browsers just suck to recommend. There's like no web browser I'm like, oh, this is perfect, everyone should use it. They all just kind of aggravate me, you know? Yeah, let's see here. All right, so we have this now set up. Neovim. Let's see what this does. So we have our bash, we have our Neovim. Let's see where we're at on this whole deal. Linutil. Here we go. Cargo run. Oops, my bad. Yeah, let's just comment this out. Yep. All right. Let's just save that. All right. So now we have bash prompt and Neovim. So let's try to set up Neovim. Okay. Looking for conflicting GVim. Okay. Why am I installing GVim? What? Come here. What am I doing over here? Do I have GVim? do? Why would I use GVim? That is weird. Vim enhanced. Vim. No, this is wrong. You can use GVim data. Okay. Hallucinations abound. This is what you get with LLMs. Not that surprising. Had it coming. Vim enhanced. That is also the wrong package. I think that was going to conflict with Neovim too. Let's get rid of that. That's fine. Vim GTK3, I don't think that's good. And GVim data, I'm going to get rid of too over here. Yeah, that looks better. Not sure about these caps on the shell check when it comes to Fedora and OpenSUSE. Looks a little large LSD models. Yeah. Let's try that. Let's go. Bam. Yeah, let's just update. Push. All right. Let's try it again. All right. Set up Neovim. Failed. Oops. You gotta let it sit for a second. There's a weird thing about GitHub. If you're pulling directly without downloading the scripts, I just thought there was a dog outside my window. I was like, what? Is there a dog? Oh, okay. There's somebody on there. You gotta wait a little bit. That's the one downside. If you look, okay, so we have that. You see how it's GVim right here? We've already edited the actual file, but if we just give it a second and then let's do Shift F5, bam, gone. So it just like there's a delay in the raw GitHub files between 1 and 5 minutes, I think, depending on where you're at. Sometimes it just is a couple seconds to update. Sometimes it's as long as 5 minutes. Just good to know if you're ever referencing and running scripts directly off of GitHub and you do an immediate update, you might have to wait a minute or two for it actually to update. So I know that all too well. All right, let's see what we got. Still is cached. Looking for Vim. It says Vim. What? Yeah, that's installed. How did I install Vim and Neovim? Ah, it's a dependency for libguestfs. Huh. All right, let's just do a cargo run again. Still grabbing GVim. Bomb, thanks for the prime. Yeah, I think it's just not grabbing that. But if we look at the GitHub, it's not there in the raw GitHub. Maybe it's cached locally somehow. Oh, shoot. You know what? Let's just do this. Instead of sitting here guessing by what we're doing with... I think we need to recompile. I think there is some caching going on with Rust. It's just too smart. Let's just do a curl. And we'll just... wait. No, we got to do something a little more than that, I want to say. Yeah, bash curl. Oops, my bad. Like, that doesn't look right. Yeah, it looks better. Huh. I wonder why it's installed Haskell. Must be. Huh. Okay. Unknown name, no. Unknown option, no short name. Kickstart init Lua. Okay. I think I updated my Neovim and it's been a bit. I probably should have checked this before I wiped out my existing config. Oh well, it's fine. All right, let's go over here. Now, let's go init Lua. Do we have init Lua Neovim? All right, there it is. All right, now we got init Lua. No short name. Okay, let's just delete that option. All right. All right. GitHub Neovim Titus Kickstart init Lua. No short name. Okay. In Vim. Titus Linux Toolbox Neovim Titus Kickstart Lua. Okay. Weird. Oh, it must have been grabbing from a different location. Okay, that's fine. All right, now in Vim. Okay, cool. That seemed to work. Yeah, I tried Helix. Helix is neat. I honestly like some of the methodology of Helix better than Neovim. It's just Neovim has like all the backing from all the developers. So you have so many extensions and cool projects built around Neovim that it's going to be hard for Helix to really get a foot in the door. Even me that just sucks at Neovim can really just jam out, especially with like Kickstart NVim. I've been enjoying it as sane defaults of NVim. That's true. It's true. It's true, Lip. I agree with you. But I still love me some Neovim. After configuring it with the Kickstart, it's like I tried Helix and there's still so many things about Neovim that I missed that I couldn't adopt Helix. But if you're fresh to the game and you're like choosing between Neovim and Helix, you'll probably, and you don't, let's say you don't need like tons of LSPs and craziness, and you just want like just a sane default. Helix is actually a really good sane default package. Like it just makes a lot of sense. Like you would select everything and then delete it, where Vim is like delete and then you specify the command afterwards. It's completely backwards. Vim doesn't make any sense in that regard. I agree 100% with Helix's methodology comparatively, but in the end, I still have all these extensions and I've spent a ton of time on my Neovim that I'm like, I can't leave it. It's my baby. It's mine. I can't let it go. Even though I suck at it, it's still like I've spent so much time on this Kickstart that I'm like, I don't. I build entire functions around taking markdown pictures from my clipboard and then grabbing them, changing them into an image file, depositing them in my website images folder, and then automatically adding the markdown code for my website. Totally an obscure thing that I'm the only person in the world that would do, but it saves me so much time that I'm like, I just can't leave Neovim for that. Oh, get out. Get out. No Pico Nano is all you need. Out. Banned. You're banned. All right. Now we've got that Neovim does work. We can curl it directly. Everything's looking good. Let's do a cargo clean. And let's go run it again. Let's just rebuild just to start fresh. And then let's set it up. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. Damn, that's good. Like it. Cargo build. Build it out. Where does it put the build targets and cargo? This is a question. Do we have any people that do Rust in the chat? Because I forgot how to build a binary. Yeah, I thought it was cargo build. TLDR cargo build. Oh, that's right. Never mind. Cargo build release. That's it. Just missing one thing. Thank you. That's what I needed. Ah, there we go. Now, it should be in our target, right? Yeah. There it is. There it be. Oh, shoot. All right. Well, I thought this would be a little cleaner. Like, where is the release target build? So we built the binary, but I thought this would be like a single binary, not all this stuff. Damn it. Let's just, hell, let's see. Let's come back into here. Let's look at that TOML, right? What are we doing on this? We got to rebuild it all. Oh, well, this is a good setting of, hey, does this work or not? It does. Okay. So the package name is TUI. All right, let's just call this Linux Toolbox 2024 version 0.1. I'm okay with 0.1. All right, here we go. Let's cargo clean once more. I could use the practice. Failed. Feature edition 2020. Oh, shit. Oopsies. Oh, this is a package, not the package it's building. Fired. I'm an idiot. All right. Anyways, I thought when you're building, there's a way to specify the binary we're doing on release, right? Target release. Yeah. So like if we go to target release, oh, let's go source target. Oh, I cleaned it already. Oops. All right. Cargo build dash release. Let's just recompile. All right, now cd target release cd build. But where is it? Just TUI? It is. Do I need that other stuff though? Yeah. I just kind of like, Peter, this is kind of like what we're thinking for the toolbox. We've got our first iteration of it. Tried moving. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's just move TUI to, where do we want to put this? Let's go back 2 directories. Tool, linutil. Yes. All right, linutil. Yeah, okay. So it just has a whole bunch of stuff around it. I'm making Chad insane with like my dots. If it works, right? Okay, so this is the first iteration. I like it. Now, we know it works on Arch. Let's see how it does on Debian. Distrobox. Debian. Distrobox. Enter. Debian bookworm. Nice. Now, if we look, linutil. Setup. Interesting. Syntax error. Expected. Yeah, it's going to do the same thing. Interesting. So for over here... Oh, crap. This is going to wipe out my bash. Oh, well. For science. Here we go. Linutil. Okay. Interesting. All right. Neovim. Now Neovim works. Okay. So it's just something with bash prompt. User bin TUI. Try to run it again. Yeah. All right, let's try it again. We'll enter bookworm. All right, let's try Neovim. The SH is what... Do I need to specify... I think I need to do the whole path. So right now, bash. I don't think bash works inside Distrobox. This is such a Distrobox issue. But what's happening is when you do something like curl -l, just go christitus.com/win. Bam. Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, that was not the one to do, but yeah, it's strictly a Distrobox error. But I kind of want this to work in Distrobox. Well, now that I did that, okay, let's just take the whole command right here, right? Oh, actually, Control C. And coming back in here. Oh no, that did work. So what is it about that? Probably cannot negotiate the full path of bash. I also noticed one other thing that's broken on here. Yeah, see. Ugh, gross. Okay. Gotta fix that. Let's come back into our Neovim. Where was that? Oh, Debian. Neovim. No. It just needs to die. That was terrible. All right. Well, that's weird. Okay. Yep. Bug fix for Debian. Push. Shoot you the binary, try it in Debian. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's still so fresh though. It's such a jank program. I don't want to give this into the public yet. I mean, I guess you can build it. Have I done a commit yet? Well, actually, let's first app remove Neovim. Yeah. All right, let's first start that now. Yeah, I'm kind of curious, actually. I will send it to you. Let's... Well, first, this is cleared. We're good. This is good. Let's take everything we've been working on today, and we're going to switch projects over into a Linux utility. And I don't have any of these in here. I know. Using the GUI. Sacrilege. But, alas, here we are. GitHub, linutil, open. Yes, beautiful. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Hang. Okay. Source. Okay. Setup. Initial update. 0.1. Let's just commit all that. Sure, looks good. Push. Fetch. Pull. Push. All right. Running _command. Okay. So we have this. Let's just do a cargo clean. one more cargo run just to make sure. It looks good. Okay. I will throw it in the description. Give me 1 second. All right, we're good. So let's just, I think actually I can just haste spin it to you. No bite. Oh. No, I can't do binaries. That's right. Because I didn't want people uploading viruses to me. That's okay. It's in the GitHub. It is. Maybe. Linutil. Oh boy. I didn't even add a description to this. The ultimate Linux Toolbox website. http christitus.com. Linux. Yeah. Let's save. All right. Linutil. Download the raw file. Haven't broken anything yet, surprisingly. Oh, was that the raw? See if it downloads. That should run on your Debian system. You have to let me know. Is it executable? Yeah, it is executable. So you should be able to run it. It will wipe out your Neovim config though, so watch out. Same issue? Okay. Okay. So it is not a Distrobox issue. All right. Oh, good to know. Let's, sweet. All right. Let's come down into error loop on Debian. Escaping the character? Huh. Okay. Does that work? Okay. Let's cargo run it. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't have cargo. I'm not gonna set up that. All right, let's just cargo clean, cargo run. I'm not setting up a whole dev environment in each distro box. That would be terrible. All right, set up Neovim. Okay, that does work. It works pretty well too. Cargo build, release. Okay, release. Let's move TUI to linutil. Yeah, overwrite that. All right, so we got linutil again. Now let's come up into our distro box. Linutil. Nice. Works like a champ. We've got our first iteration that works on Debian and Arch. Very interesting about escaping the quotes, how it worked on Arch, but it didn't work on Debian. However, escaping the quotes also works on Arch, so it's the better universal format. The more you know. Fix Debian compat. Push. Okay, so that first binary does work. We have our first iteration of Arch and that working for like my Neovim setup. Not very many people are going to want that. I don't really care. It's more of just kind of testing. Yeah. Need some escape characters, less errors. Yeah, it's true. Bash is like, I don't know what to do with that. You crazy person. I'm like, okay, fair son. Nice. All right, so now we have that going. We should have my bash setup working. I'll test it. Obviously, there's gonna be other bugs that pop up with those two. I just wanted to kind of get the first thing kind of going through here. We have our scalable menu, kind of clean looking, right? That will auto adjust depending on what's going on. So like if you take it and toss it over here or down here, we have that menu will just readjust all automatically. I like it so much better than Whiptail. I know going through all of this trouble for something so simple is kind of silly, but I don't know. I like to make things difficult sometimes. Yeah, write first, refactor later. You and I totally think the same way. Have you tried i3 Window Manager before? I have. It sucks. I hate i3. i3 can go die in a fire. That's my official stance. I'll tell you how I really feel about i3 later. I need to make a video about it though, of why I don't like i3 and really kind of put it out there. I know a lot of people are like obsessed with i3 because so many people have shared like the Primogen's workflow. I think there's a couple other coders that are influencers that use i3. I just, for a window manager, it's just not very powerful. Obviously, it works well for them. It really works great for them. More power to them. You know, drives me crazy. And obviously, the beauty of i3. So let me make, before I tell you why, the beauty of i3 is you can just go apt install i3, right? It installs, and then the stock configuration's somewhat sane. You know, it's not like Xmonad where it's like you have to have a PhD to use the default bindings. So i3 is okay, but it's just okay. Mediocre is how I would classify i3. It's not bad, not great. I just don't like it. It seems very meh. From a feature perspective, from, you know, what you can do in other window managers. Now, having said that, i3 is probably the simplest to set up, the simplest to use. It's very quick. And if you're just looking for simple workspace management, it's like the first window manager everyone uses. And I get it, you know? If it works well for you and you don't want to explore deeper and go to any other window manager and you're just like, oh, screw it, the stock config with just the numbers up top and I get around and do my thing, I understand there's beauty in that simplicity. I just don't like it. I think it sucks and I'll never use it. For me, yeah, BSPWM I think is a lot better, but as you've seen on this stream, I love Bash. I absolutely love Bash. So BSPWM is great. And obviously, if you want to go even deeper, DWM is, you know, the granddaddy of it all. It's what Awesome's based on. It's what BSPWM's based on. It's really amazing because you can change anything with a little C programming. But it does require C programming, and you know, I know that's not for everybody. It's not the easiest out there. I can make it really easy if you want to use my configuration, though. I'm going to get this to the point. Next stream, we're going to take Linux utility. We're going to do my DWM, and we're going to set it up for everybody to where you can just DWM into it, and then I'm going to make like clean, just like a sudo clean make install. And then probably a configuration editor, so it just automatically pulls up Neovim with the stock config.h, so you can change the bindings around. And then, yeah, maybe like a SL status if you want like a status bar like I have up here. I don't think you really need that, but some people like it. I personally love it for my laptop because I have like battery and other stuff up there. But yeah, DWM doesn't require C programming necessarily if you already have everything working exactly how you want it. So if like you want to use DWM how I use DWM, I'm going to make it really simple. More simple than i3. Again, next stream. We're going to build it all into the Linux toolbox. It's going to be amazing. Make a stock i3 config for DWM. So yeah, a lot of the key bindings from stock i3 is the same key bindings I use. So if you are using i3 today, if you use my DWM, a lot of them would be exactly the same. There are some changes that I do need to make for my DWM, specifically, oh geez, actually, you know what? Let's do a merge real fast. Well, it wouldn't be a stream if we didn't do another pull request. You know, on my way, we're going to get to number 1 GitHub user. Move over, Linus Torvalds. Chris Titus is in house. I kid. No. Anyways, let's see here. God, I pissed so many people off by just joking around too much. I probably should be more serious, but life's too short. All right. It's coming in here. There was a pull request. Specifically, this one by Blue. It was a simple browser change from Thorium browser to XDG open HTTPS. This is a very good pull request that we need to merge. The second pull request I needed to look at while we're here in DWM, warp patch update, implements enhancements to the warp patch, receiving code key issues and introducing various code refinements. Fezzo has been just Dude, this guy, he's next level. Let's see what he changed. Holy shit. 3,000 lines? What? This is my personal fork with the following patches. Oh, he's just removing my patches. Okay. So, always center, always full screen, auto start, CFAX, Chatterito bottom, fake full screen, multi-code, key code, no border, per tag, place mouse, resize point, swallow, switch tag, systray, true full screen, hide vacancy tags, and warp v2. Some patches are rewritten and modified to work together. Imagine Chris is the Linux kernel maintainer. Looks good to me. Merged. Geotan. Damn it. You guys know me too much. You guys know me too much. Whenever October rolls around and there's a stupid hackathon, oh, I need to just be offline for a month. I'm gonna peruse. See, I'm gonna actually look at the code. Just looking at the code, seeing if there's anything that I'm like, I don't know about that. All right, we're getting rid of my fake full screen, going true full screen. I kind of like that. That's fine. The warp plugin. All right. Monocle. Okay. Yeah. Look at me. Look at me. Just call me Code Reviewer Titus. Oh, okay. He just moved fake full screen from here to here. Was that much of a difference? No. Same. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was actually incorrect by me. Then we got the warp. So this is just really adding a lot of warp there. Removing all the patches over here. I mean, honestly, a lot of these fixes kind of make the patches obsolete anyways. Yeah, looks good to me. Let's do it. It's approved. You know, a better man would probably check this out and do a compile, but I like to merge. Approved. Let's do it. Commit. Ha ha. Living on the edge. All right. Let's go. DWM. Let's pull it. All right. 3,000 lines changed. Looks good to me. Clean. Install. Embrace the chaos. Beautiful. Here we go. What is the changes here? It's fine. All right. Now, we've got that. We're going to close that. Do we have anything else? We pretty much updated all the projects. All right. Yeah, I'm about to get up. All right, here we go. Let's, hopefully this goes well. Shit, I don't want to re-log in now. We're about to leave to go somewhere. This could end in disaster. Oh. Let's just reboot. Let's just do that. Alrighty, guys. This Fezzo guy I trust, though. I think he's good. Fezzo wouldn't steer me wrong. I've got good vibes. Good auras all around. You just watch. Alright. Yeah, we just wait. I'm sure it's not going to say no signal forever. Oh. Man, that would be pretty funny. I don't think I'd even be that mad if someone snuck that in. It'd be pretty kind of hilarious, actually. Any second now. Any second. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Crypto miner set up. We're using just a nice, cool 1 gig of memory. Not too shabby. See what we got. Let's see what we actually are running. What do we have? QEMU is going to kick up and start my windows open. I always like having windows going in the background in a VM, and then I can easily get in and out real quick. So I'm telling you, you guys underestimate the power of Fizzo. He might be geotanning me later, but damn it, these first commits are totally worth it. So after I get completely compromised, we'll just roll back to the last good commit before he added the crypto miner. Well, I mean, honestly, if he did, it would be kind of impressive because there really wasn't that much code that was solely changed. He basically just removed the patches in the patches folder and then just added a warp patch and a few other like just quality of life improvements, which is nice. So like the warping between this, it's just kind of clean now, and feels good. Just Oh, yeah. You don't even think this is DWM. Just everywhere. Yes, I'm out. This was great. Fantastic, guys. I hope you have a fantastic night. This was fantastic. Everything worked out perfectly in this stream. I'm going to go buy my lottery ticket. Yes, because it just doesn't get any better than this. And with that, I think we shall call it good. It just doesn't get any better. We're just going to do a power off. Wait. Interesting. That was weird. Window is a little bit off. I'm sure it's fine. All right. Face off.